And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us from. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm excited to join again here live and bring you guys a wonderful couple who is my mentor, coach, and have been part of my business journey for the longest time. And as I captioned this go live, moving here as an immigrant in Canada, the biggest thing for us is to be mortgage free, and own our own house. So this is kind of, a dream, I would say, for lots of us. And we have a couple here who are actually living that reality and have inspired me in this business a lot. So before further ado, I want to, ask John and Jerry to welcome them aboard and get this started. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Tripti. And once again, welcome Paul and Helena to our pages. And, it's been such an honor to have you guys. You are our mentors, our coaches, and in fact, the very founding people in this community. And, you've actually seen the community grow and seen so many people come in. And you've been like, a shining light to so many of us. And we all look up to you guys. And once again, so much, thank you so much for coming on our pages.
Yes, I just want to say I'm so in awe of both of
Yeah.
you. Oh my goodness, thank you really from the
Yeah.
bottom of our hearts for joining us, Paul and Helena. We're really so privileged to have you. Thank you for taking
Yeah.
out the time to join us. So, can you please introduce yourselves to our audience and tell them a little bit about yourselves?
Well, my name is Paul McLean. I'm originally from Nova Scotia. Moved to Alberta for the oil field dream when I was 20 years old, and
Wow.
I've been into trucking for the last 37 years. So,
Wow.
Yeah, and Paul and I met when we were both a little older. I was born and raised in Alberta, like in Canada, Alberta, Canada, and I'm a mom of 4 children. I have 4 boys, no girls. But yeah, it's certainly our pleasure to be here with you guys today. So thank you.
We're certainly privileged.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sure, taking out this time for you, for all of us. So Helena and Paul, like, as Jonathan said, you are the founding members in our community. Our community has grown so much. Like, when I joined the business back in 2019, I remember there were 10,000 people who were part of this business community, and we are now like 167K, thousand people growing, and it's global. So I wanted to ask you guys, when we look at you guys, at your age, a lot of time people have this question mark, like, can I do this? In terms of, they are social media shy, maybe they have struggles in that way. And also, like, during your age, computers and, internet, like social media was not so much used. So share about that part. Like, what were your struggles? Like, because as you mentioned, Paul being from the oil field, if you go to a person who's worked all his life, like 37 years in the oil field industry, he can never say, I'm going to work online on with computers and laptops. Yes. So what were your struggles when you started?
Oh, that's a lot.
I focused on Paul because I know when I see people in the oil field here in Alberta, they have a totally different work perspective. Yes.
I'm going to be totally honest with you right up. My whole plan, like I love trucking. I still love it today, but my whole idea was to work probably till I die, drive truck till I can't drive it anymore, because I had nothing else in store. I enjoyed what I did. I loved the people I worked with, and then one of the things that's really hard in the oil field is being away from home. Like some years, I remember one year particularly, I was home for 8 weeks out of the whole year. That's it. All I was home. It was a super busy year. We made a ton of money, and the way the oil field works, you have to make hay while the sun shines, because it's an up and down thing. Every 3 or 4 years, it crashes, it comes back. So you got to have all that money saved, and I kind of asked myself, why didn't I ever get a regular job, but the money sucks you in, and it's incredible money. And if you can use it and do with it wisely, you'll have nothing to worry about. But to get on the internet, I never really wanted it to use it for a tool. It was just for me to go on Amazon, Facebook, like to chat a little bit or something like that. But for me, I never looked at it as having an online business. Never crossed my mind till I came across an ad one day, and I was saying to Helena one time, I've just turned 52, and you're going up in life into 50, and from 50 you're going, not being negative, you're going down, and so your retirement's coming up, and am I really gonna? Because I have back issues from sitting in a truck for so long. How am I going to do this till I'm 70? What kind of bank account am I going to have by the time I turn 70? And it really gave me a lot of thought. So I came across, I looked at this ad, and I looked at it for 3 days before I actually clicked on it. And then I sent it to her because I'm kind of click happy on there. I get into things, and I get in trouble on there buying things or scamming, stuff like that, and getting into things I couldn't have. So I sent it to her and to look over it. So, we both looked at it and said, this is something we need to try, because I don't really want to work until I'm 70 years old, because I see so much of it today. For a lot of my friends, they're truck drivers, and their backs, they're humped over, they're working. Some of them are still 75 years old and they're still driving because they don't have any money left over. So I didn't want to be one of them people, so that's the reason we got into this. And when we started this business, there was 20 people in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
20.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's been definitely a big change for us to explore this. I know when we first looked at it, there was definitely some learning curve for us. Like Tripti was saying, I didn't grow up on the internet. Like nowadays, these kids, if you want to know how to start, like let's say the TV's acting up or the Wi-Fi is acting up, you ask any 6-year-old and they just, and you ask them what they did, they don't know. They just do something. Like they're just it's almost like they're born with the knowledge, right? So it is a little bit of learning. So I always see the younger generation as having a benefit that we older ones did not have. But if you really want something, you will learn. And I love the internet. My kids are all in technology. They're very good. But if a person doesn't enjoy it, yes, there is a little bit of learning, but if the goal is big enough, it really is. It's really not such a difficult thing at all.
And then to answer one part of that is any age can do this. I wish this was around when I was 40, but it wasn't. But for anybody that's out there 30 and 40 years old, like there's 30-year-olds in here that have retired from their job. And, that's something to look forward to the rest, like especially in your 30s and 40s. Like if you don't think you need to plan for retirement, you do, because the way that the world is going now and how expensive everything is getting and how hard it's, to make ends meet. You need to have, if you love your job, that's great, but you need to have something to back it up with, and I say that to everybody, you need to have something else in your back pocket.
Absolutely. Wow. It's been great.
That's great insights, Paul and Helena. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next question.
The next question was could you just tell us about your journey, what your journey has been, all these years in this community and in your online business? Like, I know you just said when you joined, there was 20 people in this community, and did you foresee it growing to where it's come now? And do your journey.
We never expected it.
So we're Canadians, right? And we never realized how global this would become. To see people on a go live or in a Zoom or in a team meeting or something, from Dubai or from Africa, it is the most interesting thing ever. And so that is some of the things that we've seen and watched. And so we never realized how global this would be. And so, because I guess, you think you don't realize how big this could become. It's a very the business is as big as you want to build it. If you want to stick in just Canada, it's fine. But if you like the idea of really progressing, you can make this thing huge.
Like we both did it part-time because I had, internet or phone service, in the oil field, you're in and out of in the bush all the time. So you only have phone service so much. And then we both still had our jobs. So we did this. We gave ourselves a 5-year plan, not just we're going to get rich in a year. We just, I'm 52. I would love to have been retired by the time I'm 55. But I mean, if I'm not, 57, but we give ourselves a 5-year goal.
That's fantastic.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome.
So I wanted to ask this, like, lots of people, as you mentioned, this is so global, yes. And when anybody who's connected with us and watched the webinar would know that, because we have so many people from around the world, on our panelists, and who are sharing their business journeys. So, but still, a lot of people, you connect with them, on on the coaching calls, and you speak to them. So, tell me what one thing sticks with, inspiring them, like, because I feel that, a lot of times, we know that, ourselves, that our jobs are not enough. And, as you mentioned earlier, and Paul said, that with the way the things are moving right now, like, it's expensive. Like, even if both the husband and wife are working, and if you have a family, let's say even a couple of kids, 2 kids, it's like so expensive. Like, you all your earnings are going to just survive for you to have a house, and maybe your daily expenses with the children and stuff like that. But then if you want to, if there's an emergency, or if there's something where you want to save for the, for the education and stuff like that, I mean, end of the day, you have to really think, like, how to get to that. So, what's your message to people who think that they don't have this kind of, they don't, like, they are looking for a change, but they think they don't have it, like, they don't have a way out.
I think Paula, you should handle that question. That's a good one for you, Paula.
Well, I'm going to point out something that just happened to me here recently. About the 29th of June, I had a stroke and I had a blood clot. So my wife actually saved my life. She brought me to the hospital, and the great doctors and nurses I had there, I was in there for 10 days, and I came out with everything, all my functions working, and there's no sign of a blood clot gone, no stroke. Like, we did a brain scan and everything came out. I mean, thank God, or a miracle, he said, is what it is. But the message is, now, being a truck driver as I was, if that's what all my business would have done, and if I would have had a stroke and I couldn't do anything, what would we be living on? Like, she was into bookkeeping before, so would she have to go back to work? I can't do nothing, because I have my own business. I have disability, but what is that going to pay? So, and we have some savings. I mean, their house is paid for, but I'm only 58 years old. And if she has to look after me for another 10, 20 years, this online business has saved our bacon.
Yeah,
because that is the whole message here. Because I never thought something like that would happen to me, and I know a lot of people think, okay, it's not going to happen to them, but even if you have $500,000 saved up in the bank now. One other little tidbit: my neighbor, his wife has Huntington's disease, so he tried to look after her for 3 years. So he had to end up putting her in a home because they're in their 70s. That home alone a month costs $5,000. So she's only 70. I think she's 75. So she could be in that home for another 10 years looking after her. That's $60,000 a year for 7 years. Put that together, $420,000. So do you have enough just in case that ever happens?
Yeah, we often go through life thinking, we don't think about the future, the what ifs, right? We kind of, we take life for granted. And it's these medical emergencies and how are we prepared financially, lack of finances is one of the biggest stressors that people face, right?
Yeah.
And why not start something today and work toward it and get, build your business, which we are so grateful, so grateful and thankful that we had the kind of like that attitude. Well, what if something happens to us? What if this works? Well, we better check it out, because we'll never know if we don't.
That's right.
Yeah, we are truly grateful.
Don't wait till the end for something to happen when you have, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
That's a great message. Because I feel it just stuck to me that, we always think that nothing bad is going to happen, like, which is a positive way of thinking. Like, we always think positive, but when the reality hits, I mean, it's better to have a backup plan, as you said, Helena and Paul, that, why not build something today,
That's
which
right.
is going to be there
We have
with
all the
us.
resources, the free training here. We have mentors and coaches, like everybody you have here at your fingertips, and I'm a slow learner myself at computers and stuff. I'm a two-fingered person, but I mean,
Yeah.
typer, sorry, diaper. But I mean, you have everything here for somebody to help you do it. Like
Yeah.
the one thing about this business is you're never alone here. You want resources and the help. This is the place to have it. And I mean, if it was a fly-by-night business, why are we still in business 7 years later?
Yeah. And we
That's right.
started the business in 2016.
Like right
So
when it
it's
started, yeah.
it's
Like this isn't going anywhere at all. This business, it's only growing globally and getting like you said, it's bigger than I ever thought of it being. Like and the best people in the world we've met on here so far. We've made closest friends ever on this, and there's great people in the world.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And we keep saying this on and on, that we have a big convention coming on in Calgary. So I'm sure like everybody is looking forward to meet and really see the people who we always see on Zooms and all. Unfortunately, not going to be able. I'm going to India, but John and Jerry are really excited, and I'm going to get all the ins and outs from them. But yeah.
That's another thing. We're going to that convention. We have Zooms like this every week or every couple of weeks with people. So when you go to something like this, you know them already, and so you're not a stranger when you go there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about it. You know everybody before you even get there.
Yes.
Right. That's so wonderful. And before John ends up, I just want to say, Paul, I was so glad and we're so grateful that you're fine.
Yeah.
Because after we heard the news, we were all literally, trust me, we prayed and we like, please, Lord, just take care of him. So thank you, Helena, for there. I know I would read your post. You drove him to the to the hospital, and also we're so grateful that everything is okay, Paul.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Trust me, I did a lot of praying that week. I tell you, I had 10 days in there, and it really dug in my soul. Thinking there about what if could happen and all this. And I was on the third floor of the hospital where it's all stroke victims in there, and to walk around and watch that, it really tore my heart out to see people. Like how I can walk out of there, and the doctor told me I'm 1 out of 100 that will actually walk out of there with no side effect.
Yeah, there is a purpose for you, Paul.
Yes.
I think it's to torment her.
That's
all right. So you want to end?
Yeah, it's been great actually, having you, Paul and Helena, on our pages, and thank you once again for sharing your awesome story with us. And I guess I give it to Tripti to wrap it up.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think there are so many golden nuggets here, and definitely, it's a blessing. I think the business is a blessing. So many people around the world. So if you're watching us, do leave in the comments where you're connecting with us, and we would love to share this blessing with all of you. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, John and Jerry. Thank you, Paul and Helena. And take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for having us. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.